And we're after recording. Welcome, greetings everybody. This is Wesley Pepper. Also, welcome to the Art Lexcia podcast. This is episode 223. Got the number right today. Today we're talking about the jazz. We're going to be talking to Luyanda Madope, from the Luyanda Madope trio about his gig on the 27th to the 28th of March at Die Pienk Kerk in Mellville. So a lot of stuff to unpack there. He's also got a new album and a whole bunch of stuff about him and his music. So first, it's in the afternoon. So firstly, good afternoon, my king. Welcome, and how are you doing?
Man, thank you, Wesley. I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Relaxing. You know, every now
Yeah,
and again, you work and relax. I must work and relax. I'm at the age of working and relaxing, so I
I
can
guess
let
same.
everything simmer on. Yeah,
I guess I'm very
but
similar.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm good.
but you are
I'm
in good
good, my brother.
spirits.
Oh
Nah, man,
yes,
thanks,
oh
man.
yes.
Let's actually start there. This morning, you were busy with you teaching music.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Let's just start there, man. Before we get to the gigs, tell us where you're teaching and what you're teaching, and then we'll unpack it bit by bit.
Okay. So I have my office is called Imagination Room, where my space where I teach. So
Okay.
it's a node. It's a node on Grand Avenue at the factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's where I teach. That's where I spend time, and I teach piano there.
Dope.
But I from young children to old people, so all ages. I teach all ages because I truly believe to learn an instrument is something that is needed for
Absolutely.
human beings. You
Absolutely.
know, so I've taken upon myself, after I've been doing a lot of producing, traveling the world, playing with different bands and leading my bands. So I have taken upon myself now to teach because I've been teaching at home, but now my kids are old now. So I thought I should get to a space now and share how I've been raising my children. So one of the things that inspired me is because I've been playing piano for my kids before they go to school every morning. I would play
Love
solo
that.
piano,
Love that.
just to
Yeah.
sound mind, just to get them
Yeah.
ready for the day. So I
Yeah. To
thought
get
other
you
children
focused.
would. Exactly. So I thought other children, they would, I think this is what I can give to the society also, because I know that I'm one of those kids who've been blessed to play this instrument. I know what it does for the psyche of a human. I know what it does to confidence. I know what it does you know, to imagination, to imagine. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah. So I teach private students. If you're a professional, if you are, I coach. So it's more like a consulting, teaching,
Uh,
advising. I try and put all these things that I have in myself as a gift, and as someone who went and studied music. So yeah, I'm bringing solutions through teaching.
Bringing solutions. I love that. That's dope. That'll make a good
Yeah.
marketing thing for the part. That's dope, man. Actually,
Yes.
I'm interested, man. Can you just give us like a background on your journey in piano? In the jazz pianos, for example, like where did you start? Who taught you? How did you learn and so forth? And like how did that background sort of lead you up to where you are today?
Sure. I'm going to talk about my life now. That's a
Well,
life. As
yeah. Well, you don't have to talk about every single thing. You can just give an overview of the whole gig.
yeah. Okay. So so
But I'll be
so
very interested now.
I'm a singer before piano. I'm a singer before
Interesting.
piano. Yeah. So started as a singer, and music has been something that has been around the home at home. My aunts, singers from church. Grew up listening to the music from the location. I play football. I'm a footballer. I used to play football. But as I grow, I fell in love with the piano, you know.
Yeah.
And then I remember telling my mom, to cut the story short, I was like, I think I was doing standard 9 then, you know, standard 9, not grade,
Yeah,
standard
yeah, with the
9.
same, with us the same age there. I get it.
Yeah. So when I was thinking doing standard 9, I told my mom, I want to study music, you know. And then she was like, "What? Hey, what are you talking about now?" And this is like 19, I think 96, 97, when I told her, you know. And then I came and studied music 1999, because after my matric, I had to wait, you know, for her to get some money.
Mm, mm.
So I came to study at the music school called Fuba School of Music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
I
one
know
of
Fuba.
the Yeah, it's one of the great
Yeah,
schools that produce
yeah,
some of the great South African artists, you know.
yeah. Visual arts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly in the
yeah,
drama, and yeah.
yeah. Drama.
So
Yeah, music.
I'm a graduate from Fuba School of Music. So I went there 1999. I finished 2001. So after that, I went on the road, man. I've been producing, I've been writing music for people. I've been producing the likes of McCoy Mkhubata, Judith
Yeah,
Sepuma, Dumza Maswana, you know, being a musical director for many SAFTAs. I was involved in SAFTAs and Summers at one point. Um, you know, Thabo Mbeki's birthday. You know, I've been
okay.
doing a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes
Yeah, yeah,
as a musical director, you know, as a composer, and just doing
yeah,
things behind the scenes. But now it's
yeah,
time for me to come to the fore and show the other side, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sort of like you earned your stripes now. It's time to flex and show what
Yeah.
the sound is about. So actually start there, man. So just give us
Yes,
like an
sir.
overview like of the musical influences and your type of sound. If you can, I mean, you mentioned like you started at Fuba, which is, and to my listeners, that is seriously iconic art school in Soweto. The last I
Yes.
heard it wasn't going so great
No,
there, but yeah.
Fuba was in Newtown. There's Funda in
Oh, when it was
Soweto.
still in
Fuba was
Newtown.
in Newtown, but
Okay,
yeah. When Newtown,
okay,
it was by the left, by Market Theatre,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then moved to also it moved to by Electric Workshop, but now it's Sibona there now. It's opposite, you know.
Uh,
It's like a science
uh,
thing there happening, you know. I guess the art is buried.
yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
that's something that Ashman, actually, that's part of the reason why I
Yeah.
started this podcast is also to give. Anyway, I don't want.
Yeah.
I want to sort of drift off music and talk about the politics of art and why centers have been closed down. But
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, but you were saying like about your sound influences. What type of musical
Okay.
journey you on at the moment?
Okay. So my album that I'm working on now that is not yet out is called An Ode to the Womb.
Mm,
So basically the album is about the memory and the memory of teachings, because there is formal teaching, there is a teaching that you pick up as any child, you know, around home, the sounds and stuff, you know, before you are taught what song is this, you hear. So I've been in the journey of going back to the womb just to understand, you know, my journey with the arts itself.
okay.
Um, and from the sounds that I've heard from my mom's womb to the sounds that I've been taught as like when I went to preschool, because I remember the first song that I was taught at preschool by Mambele, you know, the preschool I went to in the Eastern Cape. I'm from the Eastern Cape. And
Okay.
then there's music school where you go and study music. So my album is trying to show the power of memory, but with the connection of a womb, like going back, you know, and because I truly believe that through our memory we can heal. Through our memory we can see who we are. through our memory, we can pick up the things that we've been blessed with. So an ode to womb is that, because I'm truly grateful that if I didn't stay in that womb, hey, you are not going to be able to be talking to me. You know what I mean? So it's a very important gratitude and ode to women, you know, and as a universe, you know, because
Interesting.
we come there, we sit there, and we are protected there, we are loved there. So I guess before everything that I am, we have to honor those women, you know. So that's the background behind my album. So it's a journey. So the whole concept, I move from the sounds I've heard, the songs I've been taught, what I've learned from music, and how I approach it now in terms of arrangement, in terms of composition, you know. But I've been influenced by so many people, you know. Like I said, I've studied at Fuba's School of Music, where the likes of Taiwa Mulelek have studied them. The Moses Mulelek was the
Big
Silailo
fan.
Silotas,
Huge fan.
the Judith Siddons, you know. So you get to know about the people who went to your school, you get to research, you get to meet people. Like I've been blessed to work with Makoy Mkhubata. I've produced him, Silaelo, all these great legends of the country. Tsapatsula, I've produced some stuff with him. So I am a cocktail of my people, you know. I've been raised by South Africa. So what you're gonna hear from my album, you're gonna hear South African, but you're gonna hear the influence of the global, because I think South Africa is a story, is a global story. So I'm one of those who really, because of access and being blessed to travel around the world and being involved, so I get to bring all that knowledge and information.
All those influences,
Yes, sir. So I'm the African child who's influenced by African people and the people of the globe, you know. Herbie Hancock, I love Herbie Hancock. Jonathan Parker. There's a lot of people that, you know, who comes to influences, you know, the Kaifa Semenyas, you know. So I'm a cocktail basically of my people.
I have to ask, man, because I'm a huge Moses Molekwa, Taiwa Molekwa fan. Huge.
And
Did you know him personally? Did you jam with him? Did you play with him?
I'm gonna say something interesting, you know. When I was at music school, I think I was doing my second year. So I was selected to go to, there's a program that used to be called Celebrate South Africa, where we were kids from Scotland and UK, you know, in 2000, 26 years ago. So I was on the flight with, the person I was sitting with on my flight was Moses Mlelego's sister, Lisijo, when we were flying to UK. But I didn't know that she's Moses Mlelego's sister, because Moses used to have an office at Fuba just downstairs. So I used to see him every day, you know, Moses Mlelego as he walks in. But on this trip, there's a young man on this trip by the name Moses Kumalo. When we were going to UK, Moses Kumalo used to be a member of Moses Mlelego's band. So when we met in the UK, when we came back to South Africa, he says to me, "Hey, bruh, you must join my band." So I never played with Moses Mleleko, but I played with his band, because there has to be one pianist, you know. So I played with the band members of Moses. So as I was a student at Fuba, I was playing with Moses Mleleko's band members. So that's another blessing that those are the things that I was blessed with when I was studying with music. And that really, you know, there was a leap in terms of people getting to know about me, because I remember even Fana Zulu and Vusi Kumalo came to look for me at music school when I was still studying. So I was one of those students who, you know, who was blessed to be performing at high festivals while I was still studying. So I never played with Moss, but I know his family. I know his father, Bramong, as people that I grew up around, I know his son, Zoe. So I had an opportunity to sit and just talk with him, always
What
greeting
was
when I
he?
see him.
What was he like as a? What
Very,
was he like on a? What is he like as a? As an everyday person? Because I only know his music. I only know him through his music.
oh man, Tayo was always quiet, in my
He came
observations,
across as
and
very quiet person. Yeah.
you could see that the guy is always working in the head. You know what I mean? And as a musician and as someone who was looking up to their influences, I would, listen to him and just observe, his friendship with his band, because I work with almost everybody that used to work with Moses Mleleko, so I had access to stories and how he's thinking, conceptualizing stuff, so you kind of close have a direct, and people that spend time with him will talk with him. So I was blessed with that,
No.
and even in the same on those years, we end up meeting other piano players, like one of my favorite piano players, Andy Leyenana, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Great piano.
exactly. So I've been around that, and also the piano teacher who was teaching me in Meti Cooper, but he's late now. One of the very important piano teachers who has taught a lot of piano players in South Africa. I can tell you, there's so many piano players that passed through this guy. If you look at the history now, some of the guys, but he's late, Meti Cooper. So those are the piano players that also influenced me in my growth.
Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing that story. Yeah. As like I said, I'm a huge Taiwan Mulekwa
Yeah,
fan.
genius,
Anyway,
genius, genius.
brilliant, man. Have all his albums. I still listen to it today. I'll most probably
Yeah.
be playing it after this recording. And some of your music too. But let's actually get to that because the Luyanda Madope trio. Um,
Yes, sir.
you know, um, oh wait, just before we get to that, the Ode to the Womb, is that your first album, your first solo album?
Okay. So an ode to the womb. So what I'm doing with the trio for the gig on the 27th and 28th, I'm gonna be performing music from the ode to the womb, but stripped down in terms of trio now, because the band is big. There's horns and stuff. Now I'm gonna get people
Oh,
to the
okay,
I'm gonna get
okay,
people to the journey of this music, before it's
okay,
released, and the
okay.
stories, songs to song, and paint it, and the making of this. But now I'm bringing a trio to do this. It's a beautiful record. But my record will be dropping. I'll be dropping singles. It's my birthday on May, so I'm trying to plan. My management, we're
Oh,
planning to do stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
but for that, I have a project that I've done called a Connecting Generations that I've recorded. So an Ode to the Womb is my debut album as a
As a,
solo
as a
artist.
solo artist. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
After almost 27 years. So after 27 years, you must know it's not only Nelson Mandela after 27 years, it's even me. So
But that's but that,
27
that's
years, after
beautiful.
27 years, I'll be,
But that's
yeah.
beautiful because I talk to I'm a visual artist. That's my background. But I talk to artists from
Yes,
from
sir.
every genre, and
Yeah.
art takes time.
Uh,
Um,
yes, sir.
you know, good art takes time, and I think it's well, in my case, the galleries, publishing companies that put pressure on to push artists on.
Mm.
We're not a factory. You can't produce art like they do at a car factory or whatever. I think that's probably one of the primary
Mm.
reasons why artists burn out and do horrible things with their personal life.
Mm.
So okay,
Mm.
27
Mm.
years is the whole Mandela thing, and yeah, it's got a lot of interesting association with it. but that's brilliant, and like also the title "Out to the Womb." Like I love the way you speak. Like you're a cocktail of all the influences, and it speaks to the the actual womb growing, nurturing and so
Yes,
forth. So
yes,
I see all those textures and elements there. But
yes,
interesting you're telling me. So the full album you produced with the full band. So now you sort of curated it into a trio. So can you just explain to me the
yeah.
process behind that? And what will the people be able to see
Oh,
on the 27th and 28th?
yeah, because it's a journey, my just like we're talking, the arts itself is a journey. I think also people who want to understand what's the influence, what's the inspiration behind, and
Yeah,
we've got one of the things that most that I always advocate for as an artist. Like for instance, before I arranged for band, the music starts with me, the ideas, you know, the processing of me trying to put this thing together and find a niche, find a style that is going to say, oh, Luyanda, oh, what is he bringing, it starts with me. It's the idea, and then I go to the piano, and search this and apply all this knowledge that I've learned from school. But first is the creativity must come, so the trio is coming to is a journey to the release of the album. But now people, we get to know the story. It's an ongoing, because sometimes we will record the music, and then the music is out, and then people don't know what inspired me, why that in that song, why is that, so the trio is here to really give the perspective, and I explain myself, and the settings also of pink at the Pienk Kerk also allows for me. Okay, let me go with a trio,
Mm.
and
Oh, okay,
hopefully
okay, I get it. Yeah,
uh, as the album grows, one day we'll bring the band in the space, and but also
yeah,
the settings, because also the space itself is intimate.
yeah.
Because I'm a solo, I can play solo piano, I can play duet, I can play trio. So I'm just showing that the art itself,
Versatility.
because exactly, because art is really experience. If we
Yeah.
look at this thing, people, when they are coming to the show, they don't know what's going to happen. We can't give everything, because that's not experience anyway, if you're
Ah,
going to sit there and know what's going to happen. So I'm one of
ah,
those artists. I want you to be in the room. It's always my prayer that come to the room, be in the
ah,
room, and then we go on the journey. And then you've
yeah,
got something to say. Wow, yesterday Luyanda was saying this. Luyanda was saying this. These are the conversations. And I also love interacting with people, because everybody's been in the womb, but we've never
ah,
looked back on this and go take a journey back and look the warmth and the love and the protection and the 9 months. Some people is 6 months, some is 7 months,
yeah,
others they don't come out,
yeah.
all just this reflection, just this reflection. So yeah.
Interesting.
So with the tree,
Yeah.
I'm just yeah,
No, sorry, continue.
yeah, I'm just saying, with the trio, it's a stripped down, but I know it's a powerful it's gonna be a powerful presentation, because I need to bear my soul on that. I need to be honest about
Mm.
why I'm writing this music, where this music comes from, you know. So
Loves
people
that.
should really look forward to meet me, the real me. They're
Yeah,
gonna see me.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know who I am when I'm stage, but after the stage, I can explain what I can remember, because I don't know some of the things that I do when I'm on stage.
Totally, I can totally relate to that. I actually wanted to add a point when I watched a documentary some time ago about people who's I think it was like they from a science background, but they were studying, or rather, the documentary was pretty much explaining the effects and power of music. And one of the stuff that you pointed out, you
Mm,
actually relates to that in terms of how the music or the experience of being, in this case, in an intimate venue while the music is being played. Because firstly, the actual physical, not physical, but the vibration of the music, how it
Mm-hmm.
impacts the people physically, how they would hear, interpret, and sort of process the music is way different to listening to music through a music speaker or through a device like we do in 2026. So I think that has
Oh,
just as a concept, as an experience, now with the digitalization of everything, the streaming, those type of things, it has another level of humanity, of connectedness, of creativity,
mm,
which is I think actually
mm,
makes those type of sessions beautiful. So I just kind of wanted to raise that,
yeah.
just make that point. But
Mm,
can you just explain to me the other two guys from the of the trio? So who are they, and what instruments will they be playing?
okay. On saxophone, I'll be having Pumlani Mtiti. Is from the Eastern Cape, one of the great minds. Is a saxophone player. He's gonna be playing tenor saxophone, and singing with me, because I'll be singing and play and sing. And then is a graduate from UCT. He studied in KwaZulu Natal. He's very involved as a film, he's a film director, he's a writer, he's very versatile musician. He's an orchestrator, writer. He's a thinker, he's an amazing human being. Pumlani Mtiti is from Eastern Cape. And then on double bass, I'll be having Mzwandile Bunene. Mzwandile Kunene is a gentleman that I went to school with. So I've known Mzwandile over 26 years. As we stayed in the same apartment when we were studying. So I was sharing apartment with him. So we are still friends. So it's a years of brotherhood. It's a
Yeah,
years of loyalty. Is a years of love. Is years of trust. Because I truly believe that people that you walk with, I'm one of those. I go with people on stage,
yeah,
people for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah,
Everything I do in of configuration, whether I'm musical directing, there's specific why. I have someone next to me on piano. I have someone on drums. I have someone on guitar. Is the relationship and the synergy and the energy that I know that through collaboration we will have this amazing uh, um, presentation, that people, would take home the memory and say, oh, on this day, this is what I picked up
uh,
from this, and then
eh,
that helps us to leave a conversation for the future. Because if you come to the show, next time you meet me, you'll ask me, we'll continue the journey,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
also I'm a connecting generation visionary. One of my concepts is called connecting generations, where I have to keep refreshing South African catalog and the stories and the people, through composition and storytelling.
yeah,
It's one of the projects that I've been doing over the years, that I've done, So I'm driven by connecting and womb and, experience
yeah.
and all of this. I'm a people's person. I'm for people, uniting,
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Salute. Salute. I've got two more
Yes.
questions. Well, I was gonna have only one, but now I have to ask the other one. Um, the first one you mentioned, like your birthday is in March, May, you said. And like the
Yes.
strategy behind the album is to, you've got this gig and you sort of reimagined it with a trio. So just explain to me, this is the question that I ask most of my guests, given that we're in a digital age, streaming versus CDs and so forth. What's the strategy there, like,
Yeah.
in terms of how are you gonna be, what's the strategy up until you release the album? And will there be a physical uh album, or is it just everything streaming like most pop musicians these days?
You know, Wesley, one of the strategies as artists is to perform, you know. That's one, you know, is to perform this music, you know, because performance is one of the strongest movements that we have, you know. That's one of the one aspect. I have to perform this music, I have to travel around the world, and you know, I have access to travel, and have been blessed to travel, and I'm part of some band called of a band called Afro 4. It's an
Mm.
African quintessential band, so I travel and do that. So that's one, I have to perform the music. We have to make sure that this music is on radio, you know. We have to put the music on the platforms, but you know, with all these problems of how many streams to get money and what, you know, we're trying to come up with ways, and that I truly believe, because we are artists, there is something that we're gonna come up that is gonna be better than how things are in terms of revenue of the things. We're still searching, we're still trying to come up with ideas, because we are the artists, we have to come up with the solution.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Of how
yeah,
you know, so my hope is, I know that I'm gonna perform this music. That's one thing for sure. That revenue, I know, is gonna have to happen, and I know that I will collaborate with other people, because there's a lot of people who wants to work. So when I collaborate with other people, people get to see the music, and
yeah.
also
I
I
see
have
you.
faith.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and also I have faith in what I'm doing, you know. And I'm patient enough to wait. I've been waiting for
Yeah,
years.
27 years is a
So
long
also
time.
my exactly. So my faith also comes to play to who I am and what I do, you
Yeah,
know.
I
So
hear you.
I'm I'm truly blessed. You know, I'm turning 50 in May, you know. I don't look like 50, you know. I'm like a young kid.
No, you look younger
So
than me.
you know, God is good. Hallelujah. You know. So I have faith, my brother. I have faith that there's a song, one of the legends that I used to work with a lot, he used to really empowered me, Begi Koza. He has a
Yeah,
song called Onendlebe Magezo. Those who have ears must hear. So I truly believe there are people who are waiting to listen to Luyanda. And as an artist, as many as I get, one or two, I'm blessed, you know, because I have to start from small. You know, I know what it takes to build what I'm doing. I'm a father. I know what it takes to build to raise a child. So I have patience, because this for me is it has kept me sane. What I do has
yeah.
kept me
I can
sane.
relate to that.
Uh, You know, I'm truly blessed to be doing what I'm doing. Other people, they sometimes they ask me, how do you, I say, I don't know. I wake up, man, you know, I'm thinking about beautiful things, concepts. Also, I'm a conceptualist. I like concepts, you know, there's things I see. So there's always a gap. We have to tap into a creativity, you know, because in these days, in this age and time, there's, you know, there's people who are very influential, but I think artists, we need to take power in terms of the art and the influence of the art. We need to be the influencers of the art as artists. So I'm taking also that to influence, you know, about who I am and what I've done, and to so that we move
Yeah, you.
our people forward. We promote the arts of South Africa to the
I
world,
hear
because
you.
hey, we are big, we're a very talented country.
Ec- Incredibly, incredibly. Um,
Mm.
Sort of in wrapping up, man. Actually, I just want to make a point on the on the point about streaming. You know, look, I'm a visual artist. So, but
Mm.
I know many musicians. And I've
Mm.
interviewed quite a
Mm.
few as well. I'm not really, I don't really trust those streaming numbers. As a podcaster, I can tell you
Yeah,
straight up, like those numbers can be manipulated. Um, there's
yeah.
also with these AI bots and stuff, you pay companies to manipulate and to change those numbers. I don't really, as an artist, I don't really trust it. and the big record companies or the big multinational companies got more resources and so forth, and
Mm,
they can pay people
mm,
top dollar to influence those things, which is problematic.
mm,
And others are paid peanuts based off that. So I hear what you're saying. In order sort of like
mm.
you guys are gonna be developing or learning how to lay it out as in by working. I can respect and I can understand that. And there's writers I know that do a similar thing. There's visual artists I know, theater practitioners that do a similar thing, where instead of
Mm.
stressing about the commercial side of it, they sort of just work. Yeah, I get that. Um, one last question before we get to the the stuff about the gig, and this is also something I'm quite interested in. So this is more coming from a personal point of view. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a lot that you travel a lot, and I know that jazz, as a genre of music, maybe not as popular as electronic dance music.
Mm.
Where are the biggest markets for that? So in other words, if you're gonna go around gigging, what cities, what towns, and so forth, and what countries and so forth, like where who's consuming South African jazz music according to you?
Hey, my brother, just Europe. South African music is very big globally. You know, globally, it's a big topic. It's a big topic. For an example, I went to Bremen. I went to Bremen in Germany 2 years ago. 2 years ago, this is like the biggest jazz exhibition. You know, so what happens there? You meet all the promoters of all over the world.
Yeah,
But when I was there with my band Afro4, that part of these guys. There's three guys from Nigeria and myself.
sure.
It's a quintessential African band. But most of the questions and everything that when we're in Bremen, people will come to me because they read that I'm from South Africa. They'll say, "Hey, I know you've worked on this album with so and so." Like they do their research. And they read about us, when they meet, because they're interested to know, because there is a lot of South Africans who are all over the world, who are traveling, who are performing. So and it's a big topic, and Africa is a big topic right now when it comes to jazz. It's a big topic, and because we are bringing something also culturally effective, we are very fashionable, we are
Mm.
very energetic, we are we are vibe. You know what I'm saying? so so live performance gives you that platform. Whether you're in South Africa, whether in Europe or in America or in Asia, wherever you are, the energy that you bring, who you are, that you bring on stage, is a currency. So
Interesting.
your
Putting it.
whole thing, looking after yourself,
Mm.
preparing to get for the show, to present yourself, knowing the story. Why are you doing this? Selling it, because I'm a salesman now for Luyanda.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
all of these things. So you're gonna have to bring all these other tools, for expression, for visuals. How do you know what I'm saying? What is it that makes you tick? And all of this. So we end up getting to coin, or to create this artist, you know. And the beauty is we are aware of it. Some we've been blessed to study. Like at music school, one of the things at Fuba they taught me, they said, Luyanda, as a musician, there are so many avenues to do. You can be a teacher, you can be a performer, you can be a composer, you can be you can be an A&R, you can be all of this. And I've exhausted most of the things. I'm still adding some of the stuff, just to, I've done radio because I love radio. I'll do show behind the scenes and curate, So I've been involved in trying to, what do you call it, diversifying? We call it
Yeah,
diversifying, you
yeah.
know. you know. So we've been, as artists, we've been diversifying all of our lives. I just hope and pray that we will get an opportunity to lead some of the things, you know. Right artists in right places. That's my prayer. Right people with information and with the solutions, you know. I think we need such leaders, you know.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for that. That's a I love the way you explained that. Um,
Mm.
yeah, you actually the I've heard that similar narrative by a lot of other jazz musicians, especially what gotten to Europe. Very, very interesting. Because I guess you can make a similar argument with visual art as well. Um, yeah. Anyway, I sort of wanna drift off more to the politics and stuff because I'm also a
I th-
proud Pan Africanist
just
as well. And sorry, continue.
uh uh, you know, I was gonna say, just to, you know, just to add something even on that. I truly even believe that even in South Africa, one of the things that we need to do now is to go back on tour. We need to tour the country. You know,
Yeah,
art
yeah,
needs to really
yeah.
tour the country. The country is big.
Accessible.
We really
Yeah,
exactly. We really need to tour
and
the country because if we can tour the
there's smaller
country,
towns outside the major metropolitan areas as well, which are culturally starved. And there's a
exactly,
market there. There's people who will support you. They'll come to
exactly,
your shows. That's
exactly,
a very good point. Um, and
exactly.
the same thing argument could be made for writers, visual artists, and so forth. There's a accessibility, man, and just to I don't want to talk too much about that. That's actually where I'm basing my company because I've pivoted towards it digital. That's why
Yeah.
I'm podcasting. It's because
Mm,
I've realized that again, coming from visual art background, accessibility, that's the thing. Our
mm,
people don't have access to our work. It's always behind a paywall or a huge, in my case, gallery, a major
mm,
music
mm,
show. You know, you got to front a lot of money to go. You got to get into a car and drive and so forth. Um, 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 um,
mm,
if 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 we can create a platform where our art is
mm.
accessible to our own people, and I mean yeah, and I'm actually
Yeah.
doing that via an app. So actually building a platform exactly for that. That's actually part of the reason why I'm
Yeah.
asking like certain very specific questions to do with marketing, how you're rolling out your music and stuff,
Yeah.
because I find this information incredibly interesting. But let's sort of
Yes.
wrap it up there, Luyanda, man. So as we mentioned, the gig is on the 27th and 28th of March. It's in Melville
Yes.
at the Pienk Kerk.
Yes. Sir.
And for those who don't know what
Yes, sir.
Afrikaans, that means the Pink Church, which is a very fun,
Yeah.
very interesting name. Yeah, the
Yeah.
tickets are $400. But can you
Yes,
just, is
sir.
there anything else I'm missing there? Like, oh yeah, time. I don't know the time of this when the show starts.
Time. Let me just check something. Time. Oh, five. From 5 o'clock on Friday. And they get a better pasta option. Do you know that? And there's a meal voucher there also. There's a
Yeah,
meal. There's it's tied to meal. I just want to check the times on my posters just to at least to give you. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Friday, 27th and 28th. Artistry dinner experience. So you bring your own wine, yeah? No
yeah,
corkage. They say
yeah. So that's a big thing. Not many venues
yeah,
do
and
that.
yeah, and also you know the Pienk Kerk is just to talk on the venue. Also, why I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
love go and perform. It's an old venue, like it's 1902. You know, I sat with the owner, Yani, was talking good to know it was a synagogue and then Methodist, you know what I'm saying? So also it's a beautiful room to be in,
interesting.
and
Yeah,
the food is beautiful. The owner is a beautiful human, and the people there, it's a good energy. So it's a spot. I think it's if we really want to bring back the arts, because I grew up in Melville. When I was studying, I used to be in Melville a lot, but we don't have those times now of baseline and old
Yeah,
baseline at
yeah,
7th Street
yeah.
and
COVID had a
like
lot to
that.
do with that.
Exactly. So I think
COVID put an end to a lot of those type of venues. So yeah.
exactly. So I think Pinkirk, I think Pinkirk is they've got something there. It's
Mm,
and also it's
mm,
rainbow, you know. The
mm,
clientele, the people who come there, you know. We're gonna have to be practical about the change we wanna see, you know. So it's a place where we're gonna meet all of South Africans in one room. You know,
mm,
that's why even I'm going there, because I want us to meet there as people. We dish up the music. There are so many things that we have as South Africans that we can spin everything and change the perspectives and
mm.
you know the beauty of this country and be the ambassadors, you know.
Yeah.
And art is the best part to do that. Is the best tool to do that, you know.
I can't agree with you more on that point. Luyanda, let's actually wrap up there,
Mhm.
my king. Can you give us your,
Yes,
if people are listening here and they wanna have access to your music, is there any website, social media handles and so forth where we can check out your music?
okay. So everything for me is Luyanda Madope. Luyanda Madope. On Instagram is Luyanda Madope. On Facebook, Luyanda Madope. On Instagram, I'm Luyanda Madope. I'm not on TikTok. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna have to be on TikTok.
I'm also not on
You
TikTok.
know, I I used to be on Twitter, but they call it X, so I haven't checked what's
Yeah,
going
I
on.
also quit that shit. I don't support Elon
Yeah,
Musk. I don't do that shit either.
yeah, but yeah, I've got some music that is out online from my project, the Connecting Generations. There's a track there, but I'll be loading stuff as I'm saying. Like we had to rebrand who I am and shift things around. So there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be coming out of me. But you know, some of the works that I've produced, you know, if you want to get to know me more, you 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 you
Yeah.
you'll see like the lights of McCoy. If the latest album of McCoy, Children of the Front Line, is one of the latest work I've produced now that is
Okay.
out that I can talk about. There's art like Dumza, Tizashia, Zacchaeus, some of the artists I've produced. So those are
So
the
good.
works that you know if you want
Can
to
I
get to
just
know
can I
what I do.
can you maybe just text me some of those links to those platforms there that I can add in the description box after in this episode so people can have access to that plus this interview.
Okay, sir. I'll do that. I'll do that.
I'll
I'll
appreciate
do
that.
that.
I'll
I'll do
appreciate
that.
that. All right, Leander,
Yeah.
thanks, my king, man. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up there. Like I said, I will add all your social media handles and so forth in the description box here below. I'll publish the episode in
Yeah.
next week. Maybe next week this time around
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday. I usually do it around what day. And then I
Okay.
chop the episodes up into shorts. So like a minute,
Okay. Okay.
2 minute shorts, which I
Okay.
publish on all the platforms on that, and I'll tag you on the social media stuff like that. So those stuff get a
Okay.
massive reach. And I'll let
Okay.
you know
Good.
as soon as this episode is done. And I enjoyed the conversation. So thanks for coming through, my brother.
My brother, thank you. Thank you for having me at the Arts Lexia Pod. Uh, it's an honor, and I'm looking forward to meet you in person,
Same here.
and we see we see what you know what we can do. You know, because you're an artist, I'm an artist. There should be something. There is
There's
something.
always something. There's always something.
There's always.
Thanks a lot, my brother, man.
So
All the
it's.
best. All the best for the
Thank you very much. Dope love, my brother. Dope love.
one love, my king. One love. Later.
Cool.
Shop, shop.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Cool.